नमस्कार, आपका स्वागत है हमारे फ्लैगशिप कैंपेन मिशन स्वच्छता और पानी के स्पेशल टेलीथॉन में। रैकेट और नेटवर्क 18 का मिशन स्वच्छता और पानी एक जन आंदोलन है स्वच्छता की सुरक्षा के लिए।
Absolutely, Anand. It is a movement for inclusion in sanitation. It's a call for equality of gender, ability, class, caste in our sanitation ecosystem. It's a push for clean, hygienic toilets. It's a public appeal for the right to dignity and an effort towards creating behavioral change and creating change at a national level, Anand.
Absolutely. मिलकर लें ये जिम्मेदारी. That's going to be the message. Mission स्वच्छता और पानी. It is a day of priceless words of support in an invaluable letter to the entire Mission Paani team. The President of India, Draupadi Murmu ji, has praised Network 18 and our partners, Reckitt, for championing a national cause.
It is a very special letter that the President has written commemorating the launch of this campaign. You can read it on your screens. It is being projected, and right here, very special gesture by the President of India, ladies and gentlemen.
The President has appreciated our vision of making water conservation a nationwide campaign. We sincerely thank the President of India, Draupadi Murmu ji, for such kind words, and it is this appreciation and kindness that keeps us going.
We are the change, and the change, Anand, begins with us. Swachhata और पानी
मिलकर ले
ये जिम्मेदारी।
बिल्कुल। और अब हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं अक्षय कुमार एक बहुत ही खास जगह से।
आज मैं गुजरात में नर्मदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में केवड़िया में हूँ। एक बहुत ही खास जगह पर खड़ा हूँ, बिल्कुल स्टैच्यू ऑफ यूनिटी के सामने। क्या आप जानते हैं कि ये दुनिया की सबसे ऊंची स्टैच्यू है? 182 मीटर यानी कि 600 फीट, जो हमारे देश के सबसे बड़े स्टेट्समैन सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल को डेडिकेटेड है। गुजरात सरदार पटेल का होम स्टेट है, और जिस इंसान का सरदार सबसे ज्यादा सम्मान करते थे और जिनका सम्मान पूरी दुनिया भी करती है, वो है हमारे बापू महात्मा गांधी। गांधी जी पहले हिंदुस्तानी थे जिन्हें ये मालूम था कि देश बनाने के लिए स्वच्छता बहुत जरूरी है। इसलिए उन्होंने एक सैनिटेशन रेवोल्यूशन शुरू किया। उन्होंने कहा था कि पॉलिटिकल इंडिपेंडेंस से ज्यादा जरूरी स्वच्छता है, और जब तक हम अपने खराब आदतों को नहीं सुधारेंगे और अपने शौचालय को क्लीन नहीं रखेंगे, तब तक आजादी की कोई कीमत नहीं। 2014 में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने गांधी जी के सपने को साकार करने के लिए हिंदुस्तान में स्वच्छ भारत मिशन को शुरू किया, जिसे ओपन डेफिकेशन यानी खुले में लैट्रिन करने की पुरानी आदत को खत्म किया जाए, टॉयलेट्स बनाए जाएं और लोगों को स्वच्छता के लिए जागरूक किया जाए। मिशन स्वच्छता और पानी ने उसी मकसद को मजबूत करने की कोशिश की। इट इज अ जन आंदोलन फॉर सैनिटेशन सिक्योरिटी एंड अवेयरनेस बिल्डिंग मिशन फॉर राइट टू डिग्निटी। यह मिशन है कि लोग अपनी आदतों को सुधारें, क्लीनलीनेस और हाइजीन को अपनाएं। तो आइए जुड़िए हमारे साथ इस पहल में और मिलकर लें ये जिम्मेदारी गांधी जी और सरदार के इस गुजरात से, जहां स्वच्छता अभियान की शुरुआत हुई।
We have a whole lineup of guests. A very special guest joining us here this morning to support the cause is going to be part of this journey with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in welcoming the wonderful Paani Chopra.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone.
Very nice to see you, Paani.
Thank you so much.
So today, how would you describe yourself as an actor, as a singer, as a social media influencer with 38 million followers? Who is Paani Chopra today?
Oh my gosh, I suddenly feel very important.
You are.
I think I'm a citizen in progress, yeah. I mean, of course.
That's a nice description.
I am that. I mean, I think we all are. I think we have one life to live, and there is so much to do. We shouldn't be defined just by our work. We shouldn't be defined just by our social media or just by films. I wouldn't be like to be known just as an actor. Actor, singer, daughter, wife one day. That's very important. There's so much. I'm a citizen in progress. I think till my dying day, I'm going to try and do something new and keep adding to the chapters of my life. And let's see what my life story is going to be. Wow.
It will be a hit.
Thank you.
अच्छा परिणति एक बात बताइए, आज इस मंच पर आप हमारे साथ आई हैं।
जी।
ये मंच है स्वच्छता और पानी का।
जी।
It's a big message वर्ल्ड टॉयलेट
जी।
डे के दिन। हमने एक कॉल टू एक्शन मांगा है हमारे दर्शकों से, हमने उनसे पूछा है कि वो 5 चीजें क्या हैं जो आपको लगता है हमें मिलकर ये अगर जिम्मेदारी लेनी है, तो आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू द सेम क्वेश्चन। ये 4-5 चीजें जो आपके दिमाग में आता है जो हमें करने की आवश्यकता है एज अ कंट्री, एज अ पीपल।
देखिए, ये जवाब देने के लिए ना मैं बहुत ज़्यादा क्वालिफाइड हूँ, क्योंकि एक तो मैं एक छोटे से शहर से आती हूँ, अंबाला से।
हाँ।
और दूसरा मैं एक औरत हूँ। तो हम लोगों का जो एक्सपीरियंस होता है, लेट्स बी वेरी क्लियर, using a bathroom is very different for men and it's very different for women.
Yeah.
Just biologically speaking, हम visuals में नहीं जाएंगे.
Absolutely.
But that experience is so different, and hence we require a minimum basic level of infrastructure and cleanliness. So I don't know if it's 5 or 10 pointers, but I genuinely feel cleanliness and usage of water is something that I have struggled to see at a certain level in our country. And I feel it's amazing because 10 years ago we used to complain, अरे हमारे लिए infrastructure ही नहीं बना, अरे हमारे लिए तो toilets है ही नहीं, हमारा वो complain होता था। आज के दिन हमारे पास वो है। I see such a difference when I take road trips. I see public toilets there. When I see airports, train stations, the public toilets are so amazing. The infrastructure is provided to us. The citizens are not doing what they should. Here are my points. I feel there's more responsibility to be given to the men out there.
Absolutely.
Because I genuinely feel if they keep it clean, because women are a little more responsible because we know exactly what the next woman bichari will have to go through. So we're quite conscious. But I think overusage of water, wet bathrooms are the worst thing because they are breeding bacteria, they are breeding diseases. You could slip and fall. So honestly, ये जो स्वच्छता और पानी है, ये सबसे ज़्यादा इन bathrooms में use करनी चाहिए because हम लोग over splash करते हैं. I have entered airports and अभी भी नल चल रहा है. That previous person वो आधे घंटे पहले निकला है या 1 घंटे पहले निकला है, हमको नहीं पता. So I feel honestly the number one problem is overflow of water. अगर हम एक सिंपल सी चीज करें कि नल बंद कर दें और चले जाएं और सूखा रखें, I think we'll all be very happy.
One of the things change makers that they will help and they'll make sure that they also contribute towards keeping the toilet clean.
So should we call 2 change makers on?
Yeah, absolutely. We must. Joining us now 2 very special guests from Reckitt, Saurabh Jain, Regional Marketing Director, Hygiene, South Asia, Reckitt, and also Ravi Bhatnagar, Director, External Affairs and Partnerships, South Asia.
A round of applause for the 2 gentlemen.
So let me first ask you, Ravi. What is the vision when this whole campaign started?
So very interestingly, like the journey started with the Prime Minister's announcement from the Red Fort. And we were among the first few companies in India who said like, yes, we are together and we should do it collectively and we should not stop. It should be a mass movement. We should have, civil society with us. We should have the media with us. We should have the government with us. We should have the policymakers with us. We bring the best practices across the world because Reckitt is in 60 plus countries. And we thought like, there's a lot of mutual learning from one country to another. We bring everything put together and let's make it grand. And the behavior change should take place. I'm very proud to tell like, the change began with us and we're still making it as a mass movement together with Network 18. And we're very sure, like, in the times to come, like, the behaviors are going to stay. In the most difficult terrains also in India.
Absolutely.
And with, some of the best brains working in the Reckitt.
Right.
And the best brains in the Network 18 and others.
Absolutely.
We'll be co-curating the program in such a way, like, that will show the path to the other countries which are still struggling.
So what are the solutions that you're going to bring? आप क्या करने वाले हैं? क्योंकि समस्या है तो उसका समाधान चाहिए. हम तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं देखते हैं, हम अपॉर्चुनिटी देखते हैं, सोल्यूशन देखते हैं. तो आप बताइए.
100%. अगर आप देखें, I mean, जब like Ravi was saying, 2015 when we started, and till now, I think we made massive stride as a country, right? I mean, we were talked of as an open defecation country, and we've now got it free.
Yeah.
But even if you look now, statistically, we're still 156th rank as far as sanitation index is concerned. So still, while we acknowledge and we can thump our back, etc., to say we made massive progress,
There's a long
but
distance
there's a
to
long
cover.
distance to go.
Yeah.
And I think the inclusion of the word "mil kar liye zimmedari" is supremely important in this,
Yeah.
because what policymakers could have done, what government and all big-time efforts could have done to get
Yeah.
us here
Yeah.
has happened.
Yeah.
But now it is all about individuals to come together as collective society, like Pariniti was talking about gender, but beyond gender, also about socio-economic system. Everyone needs to now contribute to take the sanitation forward.
Saurabh, as you said, it is shared responsibility. And Ravi, I want to understand from you what the experience has been working not just with the union government, with working with state governments, and more importantly, working with local administrations, because this cannot be a top-down thing. It has to really be a grounds-up or a bottoms-up approach, right?
It was the racket which started the hygiene index. We started with the one city in India. From one city, we reached to 10 cities, from 10 cities to 20 cities, from 20 cities to 25 cities, and further. The birth of the Swachh Sarvekshan we saw ourselves, with a lot of data and inputs which started with the hygiene index, what we created. So they were all intertwined into that. And now there's a ranking, like Indore's ranking, you see,
Yeah.
and other places ranking. So good part is there's a movement.
Yeah.
And there's a good movement, but all the efforts needs to be sustained.
We'd like to welcome very, very special guest who joins us on the Mission Paani and Swachhata Mission Paani stage today. The G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Kant.
The former Niti Aayog CEO and now the G20 Sherpa, Amitabh ji, namaste. Thank you. Thank you for making the effort and joining us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kant. We really appreciate it. Before we talk about Mission Swachhata or Paani, let's talk a little bit about G20. Sure. It's a big moment for India. India takes on the G20 presidency. Explain to our viewers why this means so much.
For many years, India has been responding to the agenda set by the developed world. This is the first time that India will be shaping the global agenda because it will be the president of the G20. Wow.
In the context of the conversation that we're having today, Swachhata and water, what will be our approach on both of these issues? Because these are global challenges, Mr. Kant.
To my mind, the most critical thing that this government has pushed in the last 7 to 8 years was the Swachhata mission. It was important because, sanitation really impacts a vast range of areas. It impacts health, it impacts nutrition, it impacts education, it impacts the livelihoods of people, it impacts women in many, many ways. If you go to different cities, I've covered Firozabad, I've covered Varanasi, I've covered Balia, Deoria, all these districts of India, where it's made a huge difference to the lives of young children, of women, that their livelihoods have got totally uplifted because of this.
अमिताभ जी, मैं एक प्रश्न पूछूंगा. G20 पे एक बात है कि थॉट लीडरशिप. सो SDG 6 और सस्टेनेबिलिटी पे आपको लगता है भारत इज टेकिंग द लीड? वी आर शोइंग द पाथ टू द वर्ल्ड.
देखिए, बिहेवियर का जो बदलाव आया है भारत में, उससे मुझे तो बहुत गर्व होता है कि भारत में सडनली ये एक ख्याल आया है कि सैनिटेशन को हम सेंटर स्टेज लाए, और दूसरी चीज़ कि हम पानी को अब इतने एक जन आंदोलन की तरह पूरे देश में फैला रहे हैं, क्योंकि टॉयलेट्स के लिए पानी बहुत आवश्यक है.
Exactly.
तो अगर हम पानी जब पहुंचाएंगे तो तीसरी चीज जो होगी कि लोगों की हैबिट्स बदलेगी, कि लोग कि अपना हाथ धोएंगे और हाथ धोकर फिर उसके बाद सफाई फैलेगी, क्योंकि सारा जो इन्फेक्शन फैलता है वो इसलिए फैलता है क्योंकि हम लोग अपना हाथ लगातार नहीं धोते हैं, और वो धोना बहुत आवश्यक है.
Absolutely, sanitation and health is linked. Let me also welcome Naina Lal Kidwai into the conversation. Naina, I want to understand from you the journey that's been covered, the distance that's been covered, and more importantly, the 5 things, since we're asking everyone to share with us the 5 things that we need to focus on and prioritize, what would those be?
I would like to add one conversation which those of us who work in the field are still working at, and we have a long ways to go, and that is the treatment side of it. It is not good enough to just now funnel all the shit into these toilets. If we do not treat it and it goes right back into the fields we had funneled it away from, then it's going to be a national disaster. Yeah. So the cleaning, the sewage treatment, the ensuring that we have recovery of wastewater from that treatment is key. And in order to do this, the infrastructure needs to be provided. It needs to be provided at a very distributed level. We as citizens have to demand that these are always in working order and that the treatment facilities are indeed working. And believe me, the recovery, whether it be fertilizer in terms of the solid waste that is left, or indeed the wastewater recovery, is going to make it worthwhile. And if we as citizens have to pay for this treatment, then so be it. We must be willing to, because it keeps our environment and our water bodies clean. But the role of the citizen in knowing, demanding, and ensuring that we get the right level of hygiene and cleanliness, whether we're in a city or a village, is very, very critical.
Joining us now is the campaign ambassador of Mission Swachhata and Paani, the one and only Akshay Kumar.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for...
Thank you.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, Akshay.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Akshay, joining us now is Niti Aayog CEO Parameshwaran Iyer ji. Param Iyer ji, namaste. Akshay is with us.
परम अय्यर सर, मैं अक्षय कुमार बोल रहा हूँ. आपको बधाई हो नीति आयोग का सीईओ बनने के लिए. आप ही ने मुझे, मैं आप दुनिया को बताना चाहता हूँ, आप ही ने मुझे स्वच्छ भारत मिशन से जोड़ा था और मैं तब से लगातार 5 साल हो गए काम में लगा हुआ हूँ. लेकिन आप मुझे छोड़ के नीति आयोग में चले गए. क्यों?
So Akshay, जैसे आपने कहा, look, it's been a pleasure working with you, and now that I'm back in the country and in Niti, so we need to involve you with the much broader work which Niti Aayog does, both in terms of policy but also in terms of improving the effectiveness of government organizations and carrying forward the overall policy agenda of this government, which believes very much, जैसे आप जानते हैं, of taking policy to action. I think that's one of the trademarks of this government, of taking big ideas but programming them and implementing them on the ground.
Absolutely.
Whether it's basic services, whether it's scaling up digitalization on the economic front. So I think it's all about taking concepts, policies and programming them.
अब मैं आपसे एक और प्रश्न पूछना चाहता हूँ. आपने स्वच्छ भारत मिशन को घर घर में पहुंचाया, लेकिन क्या आपको लगता है कि अभी भी हम हिंदुस्तानियों को सैनिटेशन के एरिया में बहुत काम करना अभी भी ज़रूरत है?
आपने सही कहा है कि hygiene is still a lot of work to be done on hygiene.
Right.
Because there are 3 parts typically, or Mission Paani is an important part. जब हम wash बोलते हैं, water, sanitation and hygiene. So under the Jal Jeevan mission, now there will be tap water in every household by 24. That's another huge program which is being delivered on the ground. Sanitation, most of the work has been done by way of open defecation, both urban and rural. But now this needs to be broadened to segregation, solid waste management. But hygiene is still important. आपको याद होगा, Akshay, during the pandemic, you made a very important message for us, a spot on needing to stop spitting, thukna. So there are still habits in India which we need to overcome as a nation. उसके बारे में cleanliness will continue to be the focus of the agenda, whether it's in urban areas or rural areas. Sanitation, hygiene, water, these will continue to be very, very important agendas. In particular, हमारा tourism का इतना potential है, particularly all the iconic tourism places. It will be very important to bring them all to international standards of sanitation and hygiene, so that we can continue to promote and boost tourism.
Sir, final question, Param sir, I want to ask you, we are calling for a call to action, 5 bullet points. So 1 or 2 from you.
Let's look at waste segregation at home. All the organic waste which comes out of our kitchen, why can't we just do simple segregation between dry and wet as everyone knows? A simple action which can be taken at home. And again, water usage, Mission Paani, how do you conserve water? When you're brushing your teeth, switch off the tap while you're brushing and just, switch on the tap to wash your brush and, to gargle. Simple actions like that can actually save water and also keep our environment clean.
Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. And we wish you could have been here with us in person.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to join you.
Thank you very much.
हम यहाँ टॉयलेट काफे पर मौजूद है और जो लोग आप देख रहे हो वो टॉयलेट सीट के ऊपर बैठे हैं. मकसद यही है यहाँ के छात्रों को और यहाँ के विजिटर को समझाने का कि आखिरकार सफाई कितनी महत्वपूर्ण है. सबसे पहले मिलते हैं अनारबेन पटेल से. जो कि इस सफाई विद्यालय में एक्टिव है, ग्राम श्री की ट्रस्टी है और कई सालों से गांव में जाकर ये काम करती है। कई सारे ताने भी खा चुके हैं, लेकिन फिर भी अपना ये मिशन है वो छोड़ा नहीं है। तो हम अनारबेन से बात करते हैं। अनारबेन, ये मिशन की प्रेरणा आपको कहाँ से मिली?
ये जो सफाई विद्यालय है वो 1963 में ईश्वर भाई पटेल ने चालू किया था। इसके लिए उनको पद्मश्री अवार्ड भी मिला था। ये ऐसा विद्यालय है जो गांधी जी के मूल्यों आधारित है। गांधी जी बोलते थे कि सैनिटेशन इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट देन फ्रीडम। उन्होंने बोला था कि अगर मेरा पुनर्जन्म होता है तो अति क्षुद्र के घर में हो, जिससे मैं उनका दुख और दर्द समझ सकूं। तो दो तरीके की बात गांधी जी ने बोली। एक था हार्डवेयर कि घर घर शौचालय बने, और दूसरा था कि हमारी आदतें कि जिससे हम जो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं वो गंदगी करते हैं और जो अनपढ़ लोग हैं वो सफाई करते हैं, और जो अनपढ़ लोग हैं हम उनको अछूत मानते हैं। तो गांधी जी का ये विचार था कि जो अस्पृश्यता इसके साथ जुड़ी है वो भी निकले। तो सफाई विद्यालय ने जो काम किया है, करीबन 4 लाख लोगों को यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग दी, क्योंकि जो अलग अलग प्रकार के टॉयलेट होने चाहिए, क्या व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए, इसके पीछे क्या साइंस होना चाहिए, एक साइड उसका भी काम किया। ईश्वर भाई पटेल खुद आर्ट पढ़े थे, आर्ट्स के स्टूडेंट रहे थे, बट पूरा साइंस उन्होंने इसके पीछे लगाया। उन्होंने इतना तक रिसर्च किया कि एक ह्यूमन कितना वेस्ट उसके बॉडी से निकलता है, उसको उन्होंने वे किया और उसको देख के फिर उन्होंने टॉयलेट के डिज़ाइन किए। आज इतना डेप्थ में जाना, और अपने देश में ये 60 साल पहले की बात हो रही है। करीबन यहाँ से ये सफाई विद्यालय से 5 लाख टॉयलेट बने हैं, और गांधी जी को मूल्यों को लेकर ये सफाई विद्यालय आगे बढ़ा है। मैं ये बात बोलना चाहूँगी कि गांव-गांव जाना, लोगों को समझाना। उस टाइम पे जब टॉयलेट बनते थे, सरकार की सब्सिडी जाती थी, फिर भी लोग उसमें स्टोर रूम बना देते थे, उसमें से उनको निकालना और छोटी छोटी आदतों तक उनको पहुंचाना। क्योंकि आज हम कितना भी बड़ा काम कर ले, हम 100% टॉयलेट बना भी दें, बट अपने देश की गंदगी निकल नहीं रही है। और उसका कारण क्या है? हमारी छोटी आदतें। जो आदतें अगर हम खुद निकालेंगे, हम खुद वो मिशन में जुड़ेंगे, हम देखेंगे कि हमारे देश को हमको आगे लेके जाना है, तो हम खुद को अपने आप में बदलना होगा। और ये चीज़ सफाई विद्यालय ने पकड़ी, गांव तक, स्कूल तक ये लेके गए। स्कूल सैनिटेशन पे भी बहुत बड़ा काम हुआ है यहाँ से।
हमारा एक बहुत अच्छा नारा है कि सफाई आंदोलन जिंदाबाद, सफाई आंदोलन जिंदाबाद। उसके साथ में हम जोड़ना चाहेंगे कि हम सब एक है, हम सब एक है, और पानी बचाए वो नेक है।
स्वच्छता और पानी हमको बचानी है ये